Hey, how's it going? Question. What happens, or what do you do when a band or an artist or a group or whatever that you really like turns out to be dicks? Now, for me, I really do associate people and music around my social views, my political views, and all of that kind of stuff. So for me, I find it really difficult to listen to um, artists, whoever, or to like the music of people whose views I massively disagree with. So the question is, what do you do in terms of music, in terms of do you hang on to the music? Do you stop listening if you find out that a band that you like are actually, or a person that you liked is actually an asshole? What do you do if you've got a tattoo associated with that band? I mean, at one end of the scale, you've got, let's say, the Lost Prophets and Gary Glitter, right? I mean, that's just beyond the pale. Michael Jackson, kind of an interesting one too. It's funny how his music has more or less vanished from the public, as far as I'm kind of aware. It's not played on the radio and those kinds of things. Um, and that's one end of the scale, right? But what if it's less cut and dried and more falls into questions of personal morality, let's say? I mean, for me, one, as an example, is Eric Clapton, someone whose music I really loved and really appreciated. And then every now and then he's said certain things about immigration which are not in line with how I think. Or the same for the Smiths, right? Because Morrissey, I mean, I was never really a Smiths fan. I missed them somehow. Um, but yeah, Morrissey is obviously a colossal twat. Um, Guns N' Roses is an interesting one because Axl, I guess, was always a bit of a knob, but he seems like a much more of a knob now, whereas the rest of them have stood the test of time, I think. And I do still. I've learnt one of their songs, two of their songs actually. One of them I can't really play, one of them I can semi play anyway. Um, Another one for me is Oasis. I definitely appreciate the band, and their music is part of my life's soundtrack, right? In some ways, but also at the same time, I've never really liked them as people. Um, I mean, that's just me. Interestingly, like a band like Nirvana, who have been like a seminal one for me, or Rage Against the Machine, definitely stand the test of time. And Rage Against the Machine, in a way, seem to become more and more kind of pressingly right as they go along. Um, Foo Fighters, interesting one, slight drop after Dave Grohl's New Baby moment. I used to listen to them a lot, um, maybe a bit less so now. Bush is another one. Um, Gavin Rossendale seems to, well, at least momentarily, have been a bit of a dick. Um, for me, thankfully, Pearl Jam are still good. They're my favourite band, and I do have a Pearl Jam tattoo. So if they turn out to be colossal assholes, I'm going to have to do something about that, which is tricky. And I'm going to play a song now about a band on which there is a raging argument as to their political views. Some people very fixed on either side. Some people sure that they were out and out, are, slash, mostly were, out and out racist. Whereas others being, really digging into it and saying that they weren't, or that it doesn't matter and they're still an awesome band. Again, another one who have formed quite a central part in my soundtrack, and I've learned quite a few of their songs. And this is one that I've learned recently. And I was a no on them. I went off them, but then recently I went down some Reddit threads on this, and there were some people who seemed to be pretty well informed, like really well informed, who kind of pointed out that actually they were not as bad as people were making out. So anyway, What's the band and what's the song? Let's see how many takes this one goes. Take one of probably many, but here goes. Kind of scrappy, but name that tune. That was Take Lots. Bye.